Where are they? Eh? ගෙදරින් නන්දාවේ ට්‍රැෆික් සෙට් උන්නේ නැද්ද? එළියට සෙට් උන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? මේක තියන්න මාව අල්ලන්න එපා. ඈ? Right. Let's start the session. Today my plan is to discuss the pre-scene first. Then I will give you the target areas to be studied further for the CFRM and ABR. ABR area will further discussed by Chandima sir as well, right? Let's first go through the pre-scene, what they have mentioned, right? You know that's a healthcare company, healthcare PLC. පොඩ වැඩ දාලා අද දින ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එක ඉච්චර ගණන් ගන්න එපා. මොකද අපිත් මාකටිං කරන්න ඕනේ. හරි. Right, this is the company overview. They started their business in 1983, listed in 2000, right? Then regional expansion, they expand their business in 2018 to Kandy and Matara. And they upgraded their operations with the technology, right? They still now they are using AI technology also for the diagnosis. These are not more important, but you should have basic idea about the then key strategic lessons. This area is the second topic in your pre-scene, right? Better you use the pre-scene with you. You don't have pre-scene with you. Good boy, right? Key strategic lessons area is very important because what they have learned from the past operational issues and the past operational difficulties they face, what they have learned and redeveloped, right? This area are not the futuristic thing, past information, but gives you the how they have overcome some issues, right? Now, clarity of purpose and determination drove transformational change in healthcare during early private sector days. The leadership emphasized community empathy and prioritized accessible quality healthcare service for all. While I'm explaining this, I will ask you to write down some points in a separate page. That is the important part you have to write down, right? Then global standard application and sustainability impact, right? Take a separate page divide into two, ABR and CFRM කියලා. Then I will give you the areas to note down as points, right? Now ABR area, this time there is a possibility because a lot of discussions about waste management during this presentation, right? And the sustainability application, therefore S1, S2, SLFRS S1 and S2 can be tested in question number 3 in ABR. Therefore, in the ABR side, write down those who do the both subjects. ABR side, you have to have proper understanding and application of SLFRS 1 and SLFRS 2 for healthcare sector company. What you can do, you can take Asiri Hospitals, it's a PLC, Durden's Hospital PLC, Lanka Hospital PLC, and Singh Hospital PLC. Those accounts you can take from the website and study how they have presented their S1, S2 requirement in the annual report. You have to study those who are doing ABR, right? Take a page, divide into two, one side ABR, one side CFRM. I will basically give you points, right? For this number 1, SLFRS 1 and S1 and S2 can be tested in question number 3. Therefore, you have to study the actual PLC accounts and how they have presented and how they have used SLFRS S1 and S2 for the presentation, right? Then governance, they have introduced transitions to public company. They have introduced a CEO and the chairman also, and they have separated their chairman role and CEO role. It's a requirement of corporate governance, right? Not only that, throughout this presentation, they are talking about corporate governance points. One example, they wanted to revamp their Matara hospital. For the purpose of revamping, they have sent a new CEO there. He is an expert in law and he is an independent board member currently serving the group company. Now there is a problem while he is serving as an independent director in the board, right? As per the corporate governance code, until 2 years gone, you can't be independent, right? Now there are a lot of requirements in corporate governance. Let's discuss separately. They have sent this as a CEO. Now our problem is that Sunil Gomez, whether he is still conducting his position as an independent director. If so, he also CEO of a subsidiary. Now the problem is whether he is independent further. In corporate governance, independent requirement clearly mentioned in the book. Therefore, a lot of corporate governance questions can be tested in ABR, right? That part conducted by myself. At the class we have to discuss, right? A lot of corporate governance issues explained now. Here, it's a good point, CEO and chairman role they have separated, but this problem recently arise, independent director, they have appointed as a CEO of a subsidiary. Then diverse perspective enabled strategic foresight, those are the normal information, strength, investor confidence and governance supporting growth, right? Then they have included technology as well. This is also a very important point because advanced technology they introduce, right? Healthcare PLC introduce advanced medical technologies accessible to the emerging middle class in Sri Lanka. They approach democratize access in high quality healthcare fostering. Now in some pages they explain they have ERP system and have some issues. Therefore again ABR point you have to note down, that is that internal control, revamping of internal control, identifying issues in internal control, identifying the impact of internal control, provide recommendations for the issues in an computerized environment. You have separate topic in ABR, internal control in computerized environment that can be tested, right? ABR. This just for your understanding, just read to get an idea. Then people-centric culture, again this connected with sustainability reporting. Then compassion and professionalism are core value emphasized throughout the organization to enhance patient care quality, investment in training and professional development, again connected with S1 and S2, right? prioritizing staff well-being fosters loyalty and high performance, leading to operational excellence. Then embedding values in service delivery reinforces the organization's reputation as a trusted healthcare provider. Those points giving us some insights about application of sustainability reporting, because we are not going to apply sustainability reporting, we are going to report it, right? ABR, the requirement is the reporting, right? Therefore sustainability information also here you noted down, right? Then healthcare laboratory overview, this also highly connected with ABR, advanced diagnostic facility recognition for accuracy. Now the laboratory is fully equipped and internationally standardized, service both in-house and outpatient client effectively. It widely recognized for reliability and accuracy, making it preferred choice. Adherent to global quality standard and advanced structure, the laboratory is present and efficiently supported integrated healthcare delivery. Meantime, revenue model and network expansion. Before go through this slide, I will tell you another point in ABR. You generally, question number 3 comes with a standard question. Accounting standard question also will involve in the question number 3. This time, I think it will be revenue recognition, right? Chandima sir, I had the discussion with him. He will take further discussions with model questions for revenue recognition for a hospital company, right? Now, the lab operates collection centers in key urban and suburban locations to maximize patient accessibility. Now, they are collecting that blood sample, urine sample, and all the samples the remote wise, right? Commission-based incentives. Collection centers receive 10% commission on lab test, encouraging performance and partnership, right? And the lab efficient operates and scalable revenue model contributes significantly to the company leadership. Now, revenue related questions can be tested in ABR. Further, internal control on revenue recognition, cash management can be tested with this, because when you have internal control can be tested for revenue recognition and cash management, right? Because you decentralize collection centers, cash collection centers, 10% commission also going on the lab test, right? Therefore, the internal controls can be tested for revenue recognition and cash management. Because of, I will come to that part. There is a point mentioned in the audit report, right? Auditors highlighted this revenue recognition matter, right? Let's come first go through the summary, then we can highlight the report as well, right? Fundamental principles and organizational culture. This just understand for this. Again, we are talking about that separation of CEO and chairman, those requirements, right? Then moving into strategic expansion into Kandy and Mathura, right? This already happened. They acquired 2 companies in one Kandy and Mathura. They already acquired, therefore don't worry about the acquisition, no valuation, nothing. It's happened in 2018, no issue. But the problem is, why they have went to Kandy? Because Seneca's birthplace, right? Mathura, coastal city with adequate territory care facilities, reduce dependence on Colombo and improve regional access. These are the reasons. Facility upgrade, what they have done, right? Social impact, decentralized hospital model, reduce travel burden for patient, right? Then strengthen the company's brand equity, improve healthcare accessibility in central and southern Sri Lanka. Those are the reasons. Regional talent development also. These are connected with S1, S2, right? Sustainability reporting 1 and 2. Partnership with local universities and vocational institutions, training programs for nursing, lab science, and hospital administration, create employment opportunities and reduce brain drain, right? These are connected with S1, S2. Now, financial strategy and growth. This is connected with these 2 subsidiaries, right? No dividend declared for 24-25. No dividend declared. That is a very important point. EBT projection, 5% in next year, 6% in thereafter, and thereafter means next second and third year 6%. Now we are here today. First year 5% growth, second and third year 6% growth, and next year, that means fourth year onward, 7% growth they are expecting EBIT. Right? Capital investment of rupees 80 million for tech upgrade and working capital changes of 20 million annually for 3 years. Now these are connected with which hospital? Have you read this? Now this is the point we connected to CFRM. Right? Okay, let's take the pre-scene. Page number 6, paragraph 2. HP remains optimistic about future growth prospect. Hemamali De Silva, the finance controller, a chartered accountant, has highlighted that the company anticipates a steady increase in its operating performance over next 3 financial years. Right? Now you can see the percentage given. 5% in the first year EBIT growth, second and third year 6%, fourth year onward 7%. This anticipates improvement in primary driven by the planned implementation of advanced technological systems which are expected to enhance operational efficiency and productivity. The introduction of the upgrade technology system is expected to require capital investment of 80 million to be undertaken in the financial year 31st March 2026 this year. Highlight that 80 million matter you have to highlight. In addition to this capacity outlay, the company forecast that changes in working capital of approximately 20 million per annum will be necessary throughout the 3-year period to support the expanded operations and accommodation the improved technological infrastructure. Overall, these strategic initiatives are expected to strengthen the company's long-term growth. Trajectory enhance operational efficiency and position HP for sustainable value creation for its stakeholders. Now, this is talks about, right, to that parent company, total group, right? Now, there is a hint, since they have given you 3-year growth rate, they are after terminal growth, right? And here also mention working capital requirement for next 3 years. There is a possible valuation of this HP PLC. Got it? Not only that, I saw another place before the balance sheet or P&L given, that page also mentioned the last paragraph before the shareholder list, page number 11. That paragraph also connected with this. SLP has prepared a forecast for next 3 years. That is target company. Also talks about 3 years, right? Now this is highly connected with what called CFRM, right down in CFRM side. There is a possible valuation of HPLC. That is the company we are talking about. SLP is a target company. Definitely you have to value, right? Let's take thereafter. Now for HP, the main company we are talking about, there is a possible valuation. I will tell you why the valuation required. Therefore, share valuation of the group. Share valuation of the group, right? You have 2 companies under you, right? Now, HPLC is the company. They acquired 2 companies under them, fully acquired or partly acquired? Fully acquired. Now they have 2 subsidiaries, right? One is in Kandy, other one is Mathura. Correct? Tell me. There is another one in addition to this. All right, right. You apply Kandy Hospital. This is a private limited, Hari. Other one Mathura, right? Also private limited. In addition to that, they have a laboratory, right? What is the name? Healthcare Laboratory Private Limited. Right now they have 3 companies. Now this growth rate, everything they have provided for HPLC, correct? That growth is the growth of overall group. That's why I'm telling you, there will be a valuation of this group shares. Group shares means finally you have to value the HPLC shares. That valuation may ask you to make 3-year forecast and, right, 3-year forecast, and then you have to take the terminal value. Because working capital also given only for the 3 years. Growth rate also given for the 3 years. Thereafter you have terminal growth rate of 7%. Now we have 5%, 6%, 6%, EBIT growth, right? And thereafter, till infinity, you have 7%. Working capital changes also given for 3 years, 20. Capital expenditure only for the first year, not first year, current year. Correct? 80 million during the current financial year. No, current means first year. This ended with 31st March 2025. Then capital expenditure comes here, capex. Right? Capex comes here. Now, basic information highlighting us, there can be a possible valuation of the entire group. That means parent company share you have to value. The reason is some places they have mentioned they are facing capital constraints for the expansion. Right? That time they may ask now new people to come and invest in the parent company level to have additional capital. Because there is another point. They are planning to acquire SLP, pharmaceutical company. This is a target acquisition. Right? This is a target acquisition. They are planning to acquire this. They are planning to develop the technology. They need additional capital. Therefore, they are expecting some capital to parent level. We don't know whether it's acquired here or here. However, they are going to acquire now. Right? They need funds. For the funds needs, they need to ask some people to come and invest. If that new investor comes as a shareholder, you have to value the shares. That's why you require to value HPLC shares. Right? This information available for that. Therefore, note down in CFRM side, there is a possible valuation of HPLC. Now look here, future prospect. Advanced technology system to enhance operational effectiveness. That's why I told you. They need money for the acquisition, plus they need the money for technological advancements. Right? Strengthen long-term growth, trajectory and stakeholder value. Position HP as a leader in sustainable healthcare delivery. Then waste management system. This is fully connected with S1 and S2. Right? Here you have the summary. Again, there is a problem. This waste management system they have introduced only for the parent company. Colombo Hospital. There is a hospital in Colombo. Right? Other regional 2 hospital doesn't have implemented this waste management system. They are dispose this waste into normal environment. Now they have some problem from the public. Therefore, they are planning to introduce waste management system also into the remote hospitals. They need further capital. Now see, technological enhancement, they need capital. Right? For the waste management system introduction, they need capital. To acquire SLP, they need capital. That's why I'm telling parent company need a new shareholder. That's why they need to have a valuation for that company. We don't want to go and market and find a shareholder to this. As CFRM instrument, we have to value and say this is the price if you are inviting a new shareholder. Correct? Now, detail. HP invested in modern waste management system at Colombo, driven by regulatory compliance and vision for environmental stewardship. Then system failure, segregation of waste at source with color-coded bins, sterilization using autoclaves, centralized incineration process with minimal environmental impact, real-time monitoring and compliance tracking. This is the system going, right? Here, improved hospital hygiene and reduced infection rates. These are the benefits they got in Colombo Hospital. Compliance with Ministry of Health standard, enhanced patient trust. These are the benefits. That means they are emphasizing this system is need. Then challenge in Mathura and Kandy Hospital. That's why I'm telling they need additional capital for this. Inherited infrastructure lack, biomedical waste, segregation and disposal system, manual inconsistent practices, and reliance on third-party handlers. That means they are handing over their waste to third parties to destroy. We don't know what they are doing, right? And risk to environment, public health, and HP reputation. If something happened in Kandy or Mathura, environmental issues that affect to the Colombo brand also. They have a common brand. Therefore, definitely they have to do this. That means they have to introduce this system to Mathura and Kandy. They need capital for that. Then propose, this is the proposal, install on-site sterilization units, conduct waste segregation training program for staff. Now they have to install it. They have to conduct training programs for staff, integrate waste management into hospital quality control dashboard, implement green procurement policies, collaborate with local authorities for shared waste handling infrastructure. Now, these things indirectly connected with sustainable reporting, directly connecting with additional CapEx requirement. Now, with that, you can write down under the first point, there will be a parent company valuation, right? Group valuation, because they need additional capital for implementing this waste management system in Kandy and Mathura. They need additional capital for technological capex, and they need capex for the acquisition of SLP. Because that acquisition of SLP also very important. They are planning to acquire farm. They are planning to integrate supply chain, right? This is very famous case in hospital sector, right? If I will give you practical examples, right? Don't take it as marketing or criticizing companies, but I will give you. Now you take Hemas Hospital Group. Hemas has their own pharmacy. If you take their financials and evaluate, pharmacy continuously making profit, hospital not making profit because they supply their medicines to hospitals and they make the profit at the pharmacy level. As a group, they are making profit. If somebody directly goes and invest in the hospital, may be in a trouble because pharmacy making profit. But if you take Durden's hospital, they don't have a pharmacy. That's why they can't compete with other hospitals. Got it? Now, if you take who is Sunshine? Health Guard. Health Guard have the pharmacy, they don't have a hospital. Now the problem is whether now Durden's problem, how we have to start a new pharmacy, chain, how we acquire that. Health Guard, how we start a hospital. They have a problem. They both wanted to have a hospital many 2-3 years ago. Now they don't want because that is not happening. Because you can remember 1 year ago, before this government, I don't know this government what they are going to do, but previous government wanted to privatize Lanka Hospital. They call express of interest. That time all these people, it was published, that's why I'm telling, it was published. They expressed their interest to acquire Lanka Hospital because if you have a hospital, you need a pharmacy. Right? If you have a pharmacy, you need a hospital. Otherwise, you can't manage the profit. That's why they also targeting acquire SLP. Now, there are 3 strong reasons to say this HPLC need capital. That capital can be a bond issue, corporate bond issue, or can be a share issue. If it is a share issue, you have a share valuation. If it is a corporate bond issue, you should have a bond valuation. Bond valuation also possible because bond detail given. Therefore, write down second point, because of additional capital requirement, sometime can be tested the bond valuation as well. Bond information given from the market. Based on the main company, I can tell you, can be a share valuation for the capital requirement or can be a bond issue, then bond valuation in CFRM. These are talking about CFRM, right? These are the strategic implement if they implement waste management to other hospitals, right? Yes. Oh, yeah. Let's do model questions. The good point, their CFO asked from you, okay, we need this much of capital for these reasons. We can issue shares. We can make a right issue, or we can issue fresh shares. We can make a right issue for existing shareholders, or we can make a bond issue. What is the best option? That best option depends. If you issue fresh shares, what would be the debt to equity ratio? What is the impact to earning per share? Right? What is the impact to gearing? Likewise, ratio analysis, and you have to see what will be the impact for ratios. What are the ratios? I think you will note down, or you watch the video again and write down. When there is additional capital infusion, your gearing will change. Right? That is debt to equity will change. Because of debt to equity changing, your EBIT will change. Profit before tax also change with the finance cost. Right? Then your earning per share will change. It increase or decrease, because if it is a share issue, you don't have finance cost, but you have number of shares increase. Right? Likewise, it is changing. Then if it is a bond issue, what will be the impact for these ratios? If it is a right issue, what will be the impact to the ratios? Because if it is a right issue, the impact to earning per share is huge. Clear? Because you have to go back and adjust it, because it will affect to the last year financials as well in ABR. Right? These three can be given and ask you to evaluate the best option. Write down that point also in CFRN. New share issue, right issue, or bond issue. Evaluation of best option can be tested in CFRM. We have a lot of questions for these areas. Let's discuss at the class. Three options will be given, and we'll ask what will be the best option from the investor's perspective as well as company's perspective. From the investor's perspective, he likes for earning per share. He likes for dividend per share. Company's perspective, he don't like the earning per share. They want to focus on the operational leverage and finance leverage. Therefore, in both perspective can be tested. Evaluation of both all three financing options. Or sometimes they can be asked for a bank loan also. Right? That means simply share valuation can be tested, bond valuation can be tested. Third one, you wrote down a lot of things within bracket, you can write down the meaning of this area. Evaluation of best financing option. This one, in simply we can say evaluation of best financing option. It's in your study text. A lot of fast papers you have, a lot of ACCA papers you have. Therefore, there is a possibility to test that, right? Then ERP system strategy. This is highly connected with ABR, but they need development for this also, right? Now, this is the summary. ERP system, integrated finance, inventory, procurement, and patient management, boosting operation efficiency and real-time data access. Initial ERP rollout base issues, including manual entries, missing accruals, and incomplete financial statements, impacting accuracy. Right? I will explain the areas comprehensively one by one because that is easy. Now, Colombo Stock Exchange. This is for ABR students, right? But even you're doing is CFRM only, better you learn because finally you become a chartered accountant, right? I have a lot of chartered accountants who reporting me and working with me. One can do only tax, other one can do only preparation of accounts, right? Some people can do only auditing. It's a big mess in the industry. This is Singh Hospital PLC. What I am going to show it to you. I was in all the audit of this company till 2020. In 2018 or 19, let's see. 2019, yeah. 2019 audit report. මෙන්න මේක කටපාඩම් කරන් හරි යන්න වෙනවා ඔයාලට. හරිද? ඔය පොයින්ට් එක මම කනෙක්ට් කරන්න යන්නේ. Don't write it down anywhere. Right? I am asking for ABR students. What is this? Notes to financial statements. Right, this is my one and only accounting guru's signature. Lahanta Vikramasinghe says, you know this audit report now include key audit matters, right? I have included a key audit matter here. Revenue recognition, I told you, right? Now they also have some issues with revenue recognition in hospital. For ABR student, better you read it and understand, right? What now in key audit matter, we will explain what is the issue, significant material, possible material misstatement we are explaining. Then we will explain how we overcome that issue. That's why we included in the key audit matter, otherwise it goes to qualification. Now here, now because of that decentralized labs, decentralized cash collection, revenue recognition issues, look here. And the reason one, what we are going to discuss here, I have mentioned, including manual entries in the ERP system because they have connected inventory system, pharmacy selling system, inpatient billing system, outpatient billing system, fixed asset, everything into one ERP system. Now what it should be happen when you issued medicine and bill it, it should be recognized the revenue plus it should reduce the inventory level. Because in an hospital, it is very important to reduce the inventory level. Otherwise, they believe they have enough medicine. Finally, they will run out of medicine. Therefore, a connection of inventory system is most important. Then billing system, very important. While you billing, it has to be connected with the accounting system. Otherwise, there should be a manual intervention to pass a double entry. Right? Look here what we have mentioned in this audit report. Companies earn through the provision of healthcare service and selling pharmaceuticals. Main revenue of the company for reporting year comprise income source from provision of laboratory service outsides, remotes. For the reporting year, which 43% laboratory service income, total revenue of the company, there may be a risk. The same thing we are talking about the pre-scene also. There may be a risk that all service renders have not been recorded in the accounts and taken into revenue without any revenue leakages. Auditors mention in this pre-scene there will be a revenue leakage here. This is inherent risk in hospital business. Now, in addition to above, revenue streams are captured and invoiced through hospital management software which are not fully integrated with transaction recording modules. Then what happens? You need to take the bill at the end of the day and manually enter into the accounting system. Then incompleteness, inaccuracy is there because these are not integrated correctly. In consideration of the significance of the account transaction and level of management Manual intervention applied in the recognition of revenue, same has been noted as a key audit matter. These are the audit procedures we followed to test that. Right? Now, this key audit matter 100% connected with this. Not only that, there is another. That is the one. Yeah, this is the one. This revenue one. If you want to read, you can read others also. Right? Read this and read the reason audit reports also of other hospitals also. Right? Now, look the presentation. Here they clearly mention initial ERP rollout faced issues including manual entries. Why? All the sub areas not highly connected. Missing accruals, incomplete financial statement impacting accuracy. Right? Then auditor found weak audit trails, use authentication gaps, and risk of revenue leakages like duplicate consultants fee payments. Recommendation include ERP upgrade, automated reconciliations, strong internal controls, and ongoing staff training for success. That's why I told you revenue related, cash collection related, internal control can be tested. Right? Then the detail ERP system to enhance operational efficiency, what they have connected. මේකත් හරියට JP එක වගේ පිට තැන් වල වැඩ ඕන තැන වැඩ නැහැ. රතු නෙමෙයි. මේ රතු මේ තැන් වල වැඩ මේ. JP එකත් එළියිද්දි පට්ටාතල. ආණ්ඩුවට ගත්තට පස්සේ වැඩක් නැහැ. හරි. Implemented ERP system to integrate finance, inventory, procurement, patient management, everything together. හරිද? Together වුණාට there are manual intervention. Now there's a problem. Right? Then improved real-time data. These are the objectives they had. But manual journal entries without proper review, missing accrual and unadjusted balances, incomplete financial statement during early implementation, initial challenges that they had. Right? These are the auditor findings. Inconsistency in transaction login and audit trials, weak user authentication, risk of cash losses, double payment of consultant fees. That's why internal controls. Because here also they recommend here strategic recommendations. Upgrade ERP system with security and compliance features. Integrate payment gateway and automate reconciliation. Strengthen internal control and provide staff training. Implement continuous monitoring and audit trail enhancements. Therefore, ABR side you can write down. Internal control and cash, internal control on cash related and revenue reconciliation you already wrote down, right? Right. Further add to that, recommendation for improvement of ERP system issues can be tested. Recommendations for improvement of ERP system issues can be tested in ABR. We will discuss all these areas, right? Next 1.5, only 1 month. Right? This is the toughest month now coming. Right. Governance and leadership update. This is about board. I have told you. Right? They introduce. Now, first thing, board members, go to page number 11. Chairman, director, independent, director. How many directors they have all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Right? They have 10 directors. You know the board composition. You know the subcommittee compositions. Audit committee, remuneration committee, the nomination committee compositions, related party transaction review committee composition. Those things can be tested. You already noted down that. Write down on the corporate governance point. You already noted down. that board compositions, subcommittee compositions, those things can be tested. Now, keep in your mind, as I mentioned in this presentation, appointment of new CEO aims to resolve operational inefficiencies in this Matra case. They sent Sunil Gomez, lawyer, whether he can can be the CEO in a hospital is a problem, and existing independent director of the group. He is in the list. Now, further, he is not a independent. Now, requirement is the board 3 or 1/3, whichever is higher, should be independent in the board. Not independent, non-executive, right? Now, Sunil Go must become executive, right? Then board composition have some lackings. That's why board composition can be tested. Subcommittee composition can be tested. Clear? Audit committee chaired by a fellow member of CS Sri Lanka. Better they are qualified before 2015. Otherwise, there's a problem. 15, no, 10. You know why? After 2010, CA allowed you to write subject by subject. Then for 16 subjects, you can utilize 8 years. On exam, one subject. Then the quality of the chartered accountants, this is not a chartered accountant's view, Samir Anthony view. Serious, I'm telling. As a Samir Anthony, as a chartered accountant, as Samir Anthony, who is a farmer from Surya, I have a view, I have a doubt about our future chartered accountants. But I can't tell it at the CS Sri Lanka. Because when you learn subject by subject, see what the impact. එක කේස් ස්ටඩියකින් ලියන ABR, තව කේස් ස්ටඩියකින් ලියන ටැක්ස්, තව කේස් ස්ටඩියකින් ලියන ඔල කම්පැනි හතරකට සබ්ජෙක්ට් හතරකට රෙඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. කාට හරි කියන්න පුළුවන් අපි පට්ට කියලා. පට්ට නෑනේ, මතකවත් නෑනේ අඩුම ගන්න. Okay, there is a fellow member somehow. Then industry challenges. This is connected to, highly connected to FM, හරිද? ඒකින්ද FM කට්ටිය පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩියෙන් බලන්න. අපේ ගම් පැත්තේ තියෙන කෝපි జాතියක්. ගල් කෝපි කියලා. දන්නවද බොන හැටි? කෝපි හදලා ෆ්‍රෙෂ් මිල්ක් දාලා ගංජා දානවා. ඒක වගේ. සීරියස්. ගල් කෝපි කියලා කියන්නේ. හරි ඒක එච්චර හිතන්න එපා. External pressure and the operational impact. This is connected to FM, right? Weak regulatory enforcement and irregular procurement reduce pharmaceutical quality and disrupt treatment protocols. Migration of government doctors to overseas. ඔය 2000 පස්සේ උන් කොහමත් රට යනවා. 95 පස්සේ උන් යනවා. හරි. මොකද 90 පස්සේ ඉපදිලා ඉන්නේ 89 පුච්චපෙව්. ආර්පේවදස මාත්‍යා. උන් ලංකාවට ආදරේ නැහැ. හරි. They are migrating. Financial and operational stress, foreign exchange limits, and competition reduce affordability and occupancy rates, increasing financial pressure. Investment in quality control, staff retention, and digital health innovations are crucial for resilience. These are the external issues you have, that pressure you have. Then pharmaceutical integration strategy. Now, with these issues, you are looking for the expansion of the group, right? This is the summary. HP considered merging with Sun Lanka Pharma to control supply chain and ensure medicine quality. Right? SLP is the target acquisition. Financial year 2025, their revenue 252 million. But low profit margin below industry standard due to inefficiencies. They don't have proper profits margin. Key improvement include cost control, procurement optimization, and managing high finance cost to boost the profits. If you acquire this company, these things you have to do. Sorry? The tight cost control, procurement optimization, and managing high finance cost. If you are going to acquire, investment return requirement, the finance controller mentioned here, finance controller director, someone mentioned that if you are investing, minimum your requirement would be 17% net income return annually to add shareholder value. Net income should be at least 17%. Now, අන්නේ sentence එකට එන්නේ කොතනද කියන්නේ? strategic direction කියන තැන කියන්නේ. page 11 වල පළවෙනි paragraph එකේ මෙහෙම කියනවා. හරිද? finance controller of the group හේම මාලි CFO දන්ත වෙන්නේ නැතිනේ. has advised the board that any new investment opportunity should yield a net income return exceeding 17% per annum. If this is correct, this is the required rate of return, this is the cost of equity. If this is correct, that means HP going to acquire a company. They are putting money in shares and they expect 17%. Expected rate of return, required rate of return. That is cost of equity. It should be cost of equity. If it is correct, right? Correct. I don't know whether it is correct or wrong. Let's see in the next 30 days. If it is correct, that is the required rate of return of the parent company when they are making an investment in another company. The average interest rate on interest bearing debt 8.5 to 10% pre-tax and corporate tax rate. You have required rate of return 17%. You have cost of debt. Required rate of return means cost of equity. Then you have cost of debt before tax 8.5 to 10%. You have tax rate. Detail. Since this represents the minimum return required to satisfy both entity and debt holders, pursuing investment with return below this threshold would not create value for shareholders. That means that is the minimum required rate of return for shareholders. Therefore, to ensure financial sustainability and long-term growth, company must prioritize investment projects that generate return above 17%. If you use this 17% as cost of equity and this borrowing rate as cost of debt, you can develop WACC. Then you can discount the cash flows from WACC. If there is a remaining value, that is profitable. By discounting, minimum thing you remove and see whether there is any remaining amount. If there is a remaining amount means NPV plus, valuation plus. That means business is profitable. Because minimum amount, by minimum amount you are discounting. Therefore, this paragraph, write down this is the information of WACC calculation. There may be additional informations to do that, right? But so far, based on the pre-scene, you have parent company WACC calculation detail. Now, let's see the detail of this SLP. SLPP nuge godane me SLP. Strategic vertical integration. Yes, they are going to acquire SLP. Target Sri Lankan pharma with right to European medicine. They are imports European medicine. Enhance supply chain reliability. That is highly important for hospital sector, right? You need your own pharmacy. Therefore, acquisition is this 99% sure. Then there are information given. We went through the summary, right? The profit, there is no profit margin, low gross margin of 9.9 because of inefficiency, cost control you need, right? Those things also mentioned here. Cost control, local manufacturing partnerships, those things. EBIT growth is forecasted with investment in advanced technology and inventory system for competitiveness. This is the important part. Note down, they have mentioned SLP has prepared, the next paragraph in page number 11, right? SLP has prepared a forecast for next 3 years based on current business trend and strategic outlook. The management believe if fresh fund can be secured to invest in advanced technology, particularly to upgrade the inventory management and delivery system, the company could achieve annual growth. in EBIT over next 3 years. Beyond the third year, the company expects EBIT grow at a stable rate annually, driven by improved operational efficiency and enhanced customer service capabilities resulting from the technology investment. හරිනේ. දැන් බලන්න එන්න board එකට. Now we are talking about target acquisition of SLP, right? There is a target acquisition of SLP. පිළිවෙලකට ලියමු ලස්සනට නේද? පන්තියට එන්නේ නැති ළමයි ඉන්නවනේ. එයාලට හිතේ මේ සමීර ඇන්තනි කියන්නේ මොකෙද්ද කියලා. ඉන්නේ උන්ට අවුලක් නෑ. හරි, there is a target company, target acquisition SLP, pharmaceutical industry, right? Now SLP, generally when there is a business presented by the balance sheet. හරිද? අපි ඉතින් අර සූර්යාවේ හින්දා ගොඩේ හින්දා balance sheet කියලා කියන්නේ ඔබලා කොළඹ හින්දා statement of financial position කියලා ලියා ගනින්න. හරිද? post වචනේ. Right. Now this is the, again when I am talking about a business, I always take the balance sheet. Right? Then they have equity, non-current liability, current liability, here non-current assets, current assets. Those numbers given in the attachment. Go to that. Last P&L and balance sheet relating to that. Right? Last එක නේද? No, second one. Annexure 2. Now if you take Annexure 2 page number 14, their revenue 252 million, profit for the year 9 million. Right? All 9 million attributable to equity holders means there is no non-controlling interest. One shareholder or one group of shareholders has the company. Maybe it is with a one shareholder, that's why they have mentioned profit attributable to the equity holders 9. Right? Then balance sheet given, you can see the equity 296. Right? It is plus, no issue in operation wise, but they have some operational issues to rectify. Now, if you are going to acquire this company, right, look here, 211, 782, 157, no, 296, ne? වැරදි නම් කියහල්ල 157 and 85. කොළයි වැරදි 540. එතන හරිද? 540. එකතු හරියනවද වල? හරියන්නේ නැපනේ මුන්නේ දෙන්නේ. Right. 82 එකක් මොකද්ද මට පේන්නේ? 85 කියන්නේ bank order. Right. Now FM අය මම ABR ට පස්සේ කියන්න. අතා මාරි මට සිරි වෙනවා දැන් 8ට ගානක්. හරි එකටම කියන්න. Now this is CFRM. Carefully listen to me. හරිද? If HLP going to acquire this company, right? Number one, they will give you this. The current shareholder is there. I think there is only one shareholder. That's why they have given you an hint. All profit attributable to the equity holders. They will give you an offer. Existing shareholder, right? Give you an offer to HPLC. Examiner asks you to, you are the advisor of HPLC, evaluate this offer is correct or wrong. That means you have to do a valuation of, now you have to validate this offer. Validate the offer, right? That means you need a valuation of SLP. That means you have to estimate future cash flows of SLP. Those information also given in the last paragraph before the shareholder list. Right? They also already estimated 3-year forecast. assuming all this development will happen කියලා. Keep in your mind. Read that paragraph again. තම්බි why late? ඒක ඉන්නේ. අන්නේකනේ වැඩි. මූ ABR විතරයි කරන්නේ. උඹ FM පාස්ද? කොයි කාලෙද? දැන් FM මතකද උඹ? හදිසියවත් දැන් උඹ මෙහෙම වෝක් කරගෙන යනවා මේ ACA කියලා ගාලන්ඩ් එක දාගන්න. මෙන් ආන ෆොරින් කරන්සි රිස්ක් ප්‍රශ්නයක්. කියන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඒ මට ඉන්වයිට් කරන්න නෑනේ මං අර ගාලන්ඩ් දාන්න. මේ පාර අපේ ඩිරෙක්ටර් කෙනෙකුට ඉන්වයිට් කරේ අපේ ගෲප් එකේ. මිස්ටර් නදුන් පනෑන්ඩ් නේ. මට ඉන්වයිට් කරන්න නෑනේ. මට ඉන්වයිට් කරා මං ඉන්නේ එකකින් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න. හරි ඩබල් එන්ට්‍රි යන්න. මේ ගුණ මොකද? එහෙම කියලා දෙකිව්වොත් විතරයි දාන්නේ. ගාලා වන්නයි මටනේ. හරි. If examiner asks you to validate the offer by the existing shareholders, you require a valuation of this company. Na? That means you have to estimate. මේ estimation එක මෙතන කියනවා. බලන්න කියවන්න. Paragraph 11, sorry, page 11. හරිද? Second paragraph. SLP has prepared a forecast. That means already you have a 3-year forecast for this company. But that forecast has been prepared assuming all this improvement will take place කියලා. That means inventory management, efficiency improvement, technology enhancement. Assuming these will take place, they have made a 3-year forecast. And not only that, they have mentioned after 3 years, EBIT will stable, grow at a stable rate. That means you have to have a 3-year cash flow forecast plus terminal value. Terminal rate is stable. But fortunately, that forecast not given in the pre-sale. It will come in the unsale. Got it? Make deal and SLP has prepared a 3-year forecast, assuming all this improvement taken place. EBIT grow over the first 3 years, then at a constant rate, it growing on to up to infinity. That means you have to have a 3-year forecast plus terminal value and do the valuation. Clear? Right. Now it is already prepared, will come in the unseen. Definitely it will come in unseen. Right? Then from the asset, you have 3-year cash flow forecast, right? 1, 2, 3. Then out of this, you will calculate free cash flows to firm, right? Then those cash flows has to be discounted by their WACC. Keep in your mind. Well, am I වරද්ද ගන්න තැන? Note down කර ගන්නවා.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, yes. Additional this year forecast.
I can't hear you.
I think it was in
මේ කියන එක ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ මට. මට ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ පුතා.
still number
සන්ලංකා පාමා ප්‍රයිවට් ලිමිටඩ් කියලා forecast එකක් කියලා තියෙනවා. page number 16 වල ඒක
I'm checking පුතා. Wait a minute. Which page පුතා? 16.
page number 16 last
Ah, this one. Ah, good. Then you can put the numbers here. No? Sorry, yeah. EBIT, depreciation, changing in working capital and capex. Now this will be continue at a constant rate thereafter. Right? Most important thing, not the last exam before the last, same acquisition comes, student have discounted these cash flows by the parent company back. Are there? 45% student did that mistake. Keep in your mind, when you estimate your cash flows, it has to be discounted by the risk associated with that cash flows. You estimate these cash flows from using their assets, right? Therefore, their asset connected to their equity and debt. Therefore, associate risk is here. Note down. The next point in CFRM side, there will be a possible valuation of SLP. Therefore, we have to ready with their WACC. Right? We have to prepare their WACC. It's a private limited company. Therefore, calculation of WACC is a little bit crazy. Right? But we have some information in the last paragraph. Some market data is given, but we don't know now. SLP, what is the full name of SLP? Sri Lanka Pharma. Sri Lanka Pharma is a pharmacy company. But in the last page information given in number 18, Colombo Stock Exchange, Sri Lanka Healthcare Industry Analysis. Current PE. Healthcare industry analysis, this is PE of healthcare industry. Healthcare industry not only include pharmacy. PE. Now, investor pessimistic on Sri Lankan healthcare industry, indicating that they anticipate long-term growth rate to be lower than they have been historically. The industry trading at PE ratio 13.3x, right? X can times x which is lower than 3-year average PE, 16.6x. That means these are the information for healthcare industry, not for the pharmacy industry. The problem is whether you can use healthcare industry indicators as it is only for the pharmacy. Can you remember we did a question in the classroom, right? Can you remember we did one question like this. You have hospital, pharmacy, and or florist එක. මල්සාලාවකුත් තියෙනවා. Supply chain ගොඩ විතර. හරිද? මල්සාලාව, pharmacy, hospital. අතාරිමුකෝ. Now this is the healthcare industry. That healthcare industry indicate the combination of hospital, pharmacy, everything. That PE, that company's debt to equity ratio can be used only for a pharmacy. Therefore, here you will have a proper questions to calculate the WACC. Note down. You should have a valuation of SLP. Cash flows are given. That means examiner not focus on cash flow estimation. Then what examiner focus? WACC computation. Therefore, you will have a proper complex question of the calculation of SLP WACC. Then you can easily take this table and discount, right? The valuation of SLP. Under that, you can write down more focus on the WACC calculation. SLP WACC calculation. Okay. Now, out of this for CFRM student, what I can say, you should have a valuation. Cash flows are given. Therefore, examiner allocate more marks for the WACC computation and your decision. That's the pin. Clear? Therefore, while we discuss at the classroom in next days, right, you have to remind me. So, we want to learn SLP, WACC computation and valuation. Let's do the valuation. Let's put assume numbers and do the WACC calculation as well, because gearing is here. They given you the balance sheet. Therefore, SLP gearing is here. You can see the gearing, right? The calculation of cost of equity, calculation of cost of debt, debt can easily you can take, assuming average borrowing rate, but this is the crucial part. Cost of equity calculation. This is a private limited company. Yeah, valuation. Discuss two major questions for CFRM. One is valuation of SLP, other one is valuation of HPLC. This can be definitely asked. Right? Okay. Now two areas are done for CFRM. ABR, I have given a list. Noted down everything. Give it him to read. You can go through the video also. Now, what are the other questions can be tested in CFRM? I'm going to finalize. Yes.
Global has given.
ඇහෙන්නේ පුතේ මැසේජ් එකක් දානවද? මොකක්ද දාන්නේ? Yeah. That's you have to use. That is market information, a bond rate. That yeah, you are correct, Pute. This here, treasury bond rate is given, 91 days, treasury bill rates given, treasury bond rates given, then global pharma data given. That was the back calculation. So you have to use that, Pute. Not only that, PE ratios also we have to use. Let's discuss everything in the classroom. That is calculations, right? Okay. Just point out what you have to do. You have to use those information. You are correct. Okay, that is 2. Now write down number 3. Number 3, you can see here, they have given you one subsidiary's account, that is Candy Financials given. Last 2 pages. I'm talking about CFRM, right? Candy Hospital Private Limited, P&L given. You can see there is a profit. When it goes to balance sheet also, it is in profitable manner. Why they have given this Candy Hospital balance sheet only? That's the problem. Right? They would have given other hospital also. They have 3 subsidiaries, but they have only given you this one. Why they have given this balance sheet? What do you think? See here, they have plus equity 1 billion. They are making profits 33 million. But if you take their revenue, their total revenue 972. Out of 972, they don't have even 5% net profit margin. It's below 5%, correct? To have 5%, you need at least 48, 46, 48 at the end. It's even below. What is the NP margin? Calculate and note down there, 33 divided by 972. 3%. 3%. NP is 3%. One possible thing is, you may ask to evaluate the performance of Candy Hospital because management thinking on disposing or continuing the business. Get it? Performance evaluation can be tested. Write down. Performance evaluation of Candy Company, Candy Hospital can be tested. Their financials given. Now NP below 5%, right? Now you have huge 1 billion net asset there, more than 1 billion net asset there, right? If I ask you to calculate return on equity, how much return on equity? 0.3 or 0.03. Divide 33 by 1 billion 100 net asset, how much? 1173. 33 divided by 1173. Return on equity. 33 divided by 1173 equity. How much? Oh, උතනම ලියා ගන්න. Now you calculated NP margin 3%. Right? ROE how much? 2 වෙනවද? 11 නේ. Right. Now see, running this hospital as a social welfare is profitable, but financially not profitable. You deployed more than 1 billion net asset there. Your total fixed asset, total asset goes to 1.5 billion, right? Out of 1.5 billion, 1.1 billion is net asset. You deployed there, but not giving enough return. Now you may in a decision whether we go or no, continue or dispose. Sometimes dispose, you may ask to value the business. Got it? Sometimes they may ask you to value the business. You can't have more valuations question in the paper. Ne? Probably performance evaluation can be tested. Valuation also possible, write down if you want. But performance evaluation can be tested. Correct? Right, now 3 areas we identified. The group valuation, SLP evaluation, and this performance evaluation of Candy Hospital. Right? These are the only target what I felt in CFRA. Right? Then you can have more qualitative questions. Right? I mean, mergers and acquisition, there are qualitative questions to test. What is the importance of having integrating in supply chain? Right? Now, as a hospital is a big supply chain. Pharmacy, other supplies, everything, right? In other side, it goes to Jaranda Masala. Right? The supply chain is big in hospitals. One is medicine, then equipment, fixed asset. This highly fixed asset incentive business. You need huge amount of fixed asset to run the hospital. Therefore, they may connect with backward integration. Buying pharmacy means backward integration, right? When you do the backward integration, when you do the backward integration, it's mergers and acquisition topic. Now you go and read the mergers and acquisition topic in the study test. There are a lot of qualitative explanations of good and bad, right? Good and bad of mergers and acquisition. There are a lot of issues, cultural issues, right? Now, PLC is a PLC. This is a private limited company running by a single person. Cultural issues, good things, bad things, the qualitative things can be tested. Therefore, write down qualitative questions covering mergers and acquisition topic. Qualitative questions covering mergers and acquisition topic. Right, I will give you what are the qualitative questions at the classroom. Right, in next days, I will cover those areas. Okay, that's all for FM. Now FM student can leave the class. Right, done. Any question from FM students? FM students, can they talk to me? ළමයි බලන්න බැරිද? එයාලට ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් මොනවා හරි කතා කරන්න. කෝෂිලා. කෝෂිලා?
Yes, sir. Oh, sir.
You are okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay කියන්නේ හිතාදන් ඉන්න සර් පන්ති ඔය ටික කරයි කියලා නේ. හිරුනි? පුතේ අදම මේ ප්‍රී සීන් එකට ආපු අයට මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. අනිත් අය නම් පුතේ ක්ලාස් එකේදී ඔයා ක්ලියර් කරගන්න ඒකයි.
Hello, sir.
Yes, what's your name පුතා?
Sir, sir, my name is Mahesh.
Okay Mahesh, go. Tell me.
Sir, මේ අර HP මේ හේමමාලි අර කියන එකක් තියෙන්නේ page number 11 එකේ මේ required rate of return එකක් ගැන 17%. මේක තියෙන්නේ cost of equity විදිහට sir නැත්නම් මේක නැත්නම් debt එකත් එක දෙකමද? මොකද අර ඊට පස්සේ කියනවා නේද අර මට හිතෙන්නේ 70% ගැනද මේ කියන්නේ කියලා මේ minimum return requirement එක.
No පුතේ මෙහෙමයි. හේමාලි කෙනෙක් ගෑනු කෙනෙන්නේ. එච්චර හිතන්න යන්න එපා. When you go and
Yes, sir.
invest on SLP, you will buy the shares of SLP නේ පුතා.
ඔව් sir.
As the HPLC, you go and buy SLP. Then you put your money into SLP equity. Then you
Okay.
expect 17% as the equity holder or debt holder.
As equity holder, sir.
Oh yeah,
Okay, thank you, sir.
right. Any other questions? Mayuran, are you there? Harshani? Samat or Sanat? Nobody question. Okay. Right. I will give you the wrap up. Wrap up. You can have a valuation of the HPLC for a new capital infusion. All the related detail they have given. Their required rate of return, their cost of debt, tax rates are given. Right? Therefore, there would be a valuation of the parent, the group for capital infusion. That can be happen. Or not only for a capital infusion. පුතේ විනාඩියක් දෙන්න. Sorry, ගෙදරින් ආවේ අම්මගේ. Last year December නෙමෙයි ඊට උඩින් December තාත්තා කතා කරා මට ප්‍රී සීන් එක කර කර ඉද්දි. මං කට් කරා. ආයෙ කතා කරා ආයෙ කට් කරා. හරි? ඊළඟ පාර කතා කරද්දි මගේ ගෝලයා ආන්සර් කරලා කිව්වා මේ අංකල් සර් ක්ලාස් එකේ පස්සේ ගන්න කියලා. එයා තිබ්බා. දැන් මම පැය භාගයෙන් ක්ලාස් එක ඉවර කරලා කෝල් කරද්දි තාත්තා ආන්සර් කරන්නේ නැහැ. පැය භාගෙනේ පැයකමාරකින් කතා කරද්දි තාත්තා ආන්සර් කරන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? ඒ මට කතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ ඇක්සිඩන්ට් වෙලා. ඊට පස්සේ පැයකමාරක් යාලා ඒත් එක්ක පාරේ. හරි? ඊට පස්සේ දවස් 7ක්ද 8ක්ද හිටිය ICU හොල්ලන්න නැතුව. දැනුත් ඉන්නවා හැබැයි දැන් අර පොඩි මොලේට ලේ කියවින පොඩි ට්‍රැක් එකක් තියෙනවා මට වගේ. මට දැන් මොලේ ඉඳන් තියෙනවා තාත්තට ඒක දැන් තියෙනවා. හරිද? මේ එදා ඉඳන් මම ගෙදරින් කෝල් එකක් ආන්සර් කරන්න පුතේ මොකද දන්නේ නැහැ. නේ. ඔයාලා වුණත් මේ ගෙදරින් කතා කරොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් ආන්සර් කරන්න. මොකද ඒලා තාත්තා කතා කරා නම් මම ඊළඟ විනාඩි 5 තාත්තා හොස්පිටල් යවනවනේ කවුරු හරි යවලා. හරි? ගමේ එකට කාසිප්ප පෙරපු ඒ මිනිස්සු ඉන්නවා. උන්ට කතා කරා මුන් අරන් යනවා. පාරේ පැයකමාරක් ඉඳලා තිබ්බා. ලේත් ඔක්කොම වගේ ගිහිල්ලා. sorry right. අපි යමු wrap up එකට පළවෙනි එක parent company valuation can be tested for a new capital infusion. note down කරානේ. ඒකේ there is another possible questions. They may ask you to evaluate the best financing option. New share issue, right issue, bond issue. That valuation can be come with that or a bank loan. That can be tested. Clear? Right. Then acquisition of SLP valuation, mainly focus on WACC calculation. Right? Then performance appraisal of candy company. The ඔය ටික දාලා ඊට තව එකක් මන් දුන්නා that the qualitative question relating to mergers and acquisitions, right? Then they can manage their 50 marks within these areas. Now my next task, we will start discussion again from Monday. Then we will discuss all these areas at the class, right? Okay, that is end of FM. I think ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න කිව්වට ඇහුවේ නැහනේ. Right. Now ABR. ABR, I already given a list of. හරි විනාඩි පහක බ්‍රේක් එකක් කරන් පටන් ගමුද? ළමයි හරි විනාඩි පහකින් පටන් ගමු. FM you can go now. Sorry?
එයා කතරන්නේ ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් ෂෙයා කරන්න පුළුවන්ද?
ආයෝ ෂෙයා කරන්න පුතේ. ඔක්කොම දෙනවා බය වෙන්න එපා. ඔව්. කැන්ඩි වලට ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර් කරන්නේ මාතරද? කැන්ඩිද? කැන්ඩි performance අවුල්නේ බං. NP margin below 5%. ROE 3 1 billion, more than 1 billion invest කරලා මිලියන 33ක් හොයන හරක් ඉන්නවද? අපි සරලව කතා කරමුකෝ. මම ඉන්නේ CFO පොසිෂන් එකනේ. අපි 1 billion දැම්මොත් ඔයාලා හිතන්න අපි කොච්චර රියැලිටි කියන්නේ 1 billion දැම්මොත් අපි කොච්චර බලාපොරොත්තු නැද්ද කියලා. පෑන අපි 500 million බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන පුතේ අවුරුද්දට. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි සල්ලි දාන්නේ නැහැ. අපි ගිය අවුරුද්දේ 1.1 billion ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරා අවුරුද්දකින් 800 million එන්න. ඒව තමයි බිස්නස් කියන්නේ. එතකොට මේ මිලියන 33 කවුරු සල්ලිද? අනික මේක high risky hospitals. Right? You work with patients. A lot of issues. Then with the risk 33, nothing. නඩුවකට දෙන්නත් මදි. හරි, it is not enough for the legal fees. Therefore, definitely they will dispose this. If dispose, you have a valuation also, right? Correct, right? And performance evaluation and support for the decision for disposal. Disposal, then you have a valuation or support for the disposal through a performance evaluation. Maybe evaluate කරන් දෙකුත් නෑ මම බැලුවම් පේන මේක වැඩක් නෑ කියලා. එහෙම පේන්නේ මටනේ නේ. Right. Let's discuss all these areas. Okay. කොහොමද board balance එදී? ඔය 10න් 1/3 කියන්නේ. අනේ පාලයන් බං 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවනේ 1/3 කිව්වම් 10 දෙනාගේ. දැන් 10 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවනේ there are corporate governance. wait. ABR එක කතා කරමු. FM නෙමෙයිනේ? Okay. Right. Now FM over. Let's take 5 minutes. Now 8:20 පටන් ගමු ABR, right? 8:20 we will start ABR.